I'm Linda Sztanko. I am a networking and follow-up expert, and I help people get comfortable with getting out of the corner and back into the conversation so that they can build their business relationships and build a huge network so that they can get more referrals, more interaction, increase their retentions, and grow their business. I didn't have a business. When I first started, I worked at General Motors as an assembly line worker for 26 years. Very monotonous, extremely boring most of the time. But I needed a change. We saw where the industry was going. And I was sick for a while and got involved with a multi-level marketing company on some supplements that helped me with my health. That was my journey into business, which I knew nothing about. I have no formal background whatsoever in business, no schooling for business, but I like to talk. I was just too shy to talk, and I knew I needed to learn how to meet people and engage with people so that I could sell the business of supplements to them as I was growing that business. That's where I started off, was in network marketing. So how I met Faye was interesting. So as I said, I needed to learn how to meet people, and I figured the only way I was going to do it was by jumping in with 2 feet. Being very shy, that was hard for me, extremely hard for me, because I was much more overweight. Didn't really understand how to have conversations with people other than the people that I was very comfortable with in my own world. Being in the auto industry, you weren't exposed to a lot of people, although there were a lot of people there. You worked in stations, so you really didn't have to talk to people most of the time. When I met Faye, I was putting on a networking lunch event so that I could meet people, but I'm very uncomfortable making things about me, so I always wanted to include others. So I started networking events so that I could showcase other people, which would allow me to meet them as well and help to grow my own business. Faye was actually dragged to one of those networking events with somebody who had worked for her. They didn't want to go by themselves. And that's how I was first introduced to Faye. Then I was putting on a women's business conference, and Faye was the keynote speaker. And while she was there, I still really didn't know her very well. And I put this conference on because I wanted women who kept saying that they wanted to participate in something but couldn't afford it. So I decided to put something on that they could afford, which I did. And as Faye was speaking, I realized that that conference really was for me. She talked about opportunity, stop saying no to opportunity. If you were constantly saying no to things that came along your way, you would never get to where you wanted to be, that you really had to stretch your mind and be open to what comes along your way. And I took that very much to heart. And it was shortly after that that I started having more conversations with her and ended up joining her mastermind, where she then mentoring me and coaching me, and that's how we became to know each other. I decided to join the mastermind because I was getting close to 50 and I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to be that person who didn't do anything in life that didn't move them forward. And this was an opportunity that was never going to come along my way again, to be able to work with somebody of that caliber and who had that mindset to take action, to move forward, to have no excuses. That's what I needed. I needed somebody who was going to not just push me along the way, but to give me the business skills that I didn't have, that I didn't think were in me, and she pulled them all out of me. So I had no choice but to say yes. If I didn't say yes, I'd still be stuck where I was a long time ago. I was always overwhelmed with starting in the mastermind. Probably more often than not, I thought, what the hell am I doing here? But you know what? Faye makes it very comfortable, and the people in the mastermind make it very comfortable to know that it's okay to not know everything because that's the whole reason you're there. If I didn't need that kind of guidance, I wouldn't need the mastermind. So anybody, whether they were starting off at the beginning or they were seasoned business people, you would learn something. It was terrifying to me because I would always say, well, I'm not a business person. I was not a business person. And then Faye said, okay, enough of that nonsense because you are, and let's start working with you on that level. And you need to gain your confidence that way. So that's what we started doing. Every part of it terrified me. I don't have technology background, but I'm learning along the way. I still get stuck, but there's people there to help me and say, it's okay, you'll get through it. And it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Um, Terrifying, yes, but not scary anymore. And the terrifying part actually just comes from within because I literally stopped myself. Every step of the way I would get stuck and I wouldn't move forward. And then I would get okay, enough of this. Let's move you forward. Let's keep pushing you. Let's go into the next step. Let's go to the next step. And that's what I just did is I just worked through all the fear, didn't allow the fear and the not knowing how to do things stop me all the time. Did it stop me? It slowed me down at certain points of it, but it never really stopped me from moving forward because I would just get to that point where I knew I had to push a little harder and push myself through and learn things. And that's just what I did. I worked through all the fear. If I didn't join this mastermind, if I didn't listen to um, the words of wisdoms of take opportunities and don't let them pass you by, I honestly think I'd still be doing some networking lunches, but I'd be chasing 30 people all the time. I'd never take myself to that next level where I could be selling programs online and I could be taking the knowledge that comes easy to me now with learning how to engage with people, and it comes so easily to me now to be around people and to be able to share that and help other people get through those uncomfortable situations, which we all need, whichever level in business you are. It was surprising to me how many people who were just starting off really had trouble with networking. But it was even more surprising to me when I talked to people who've been in the industry sometimes for 20 years. Very successful people who were multimillionaires said, oh my God, I so need your help. That was what was exciting to me. If I didn't say yes to this opportunity, I'd be chasing 30 people for $5 forever. And I probably would eventually just say it's not worth it. This is so worth it. Okay, so my business right now is I'm still learning the process. I'm putting programs together. I have people calling me, which is really exciting because I don't have to spend all my time reaching out to them. They're actually phoning me and saying, I need your help. So that's exciting to me. It's interesting because as you go through the process of the mastermind, you think you're going to be doing one thing. And as you start to develop your skills and you start to learn each step, because when you first go in, you have an idea of what it's going to be or where you want to go. As Faye starts teaching you and training you and pulling these skills and talents that you have within yourself that you didn't realize you had, everything changes. It gets bigger and it gets bigger fast, really fast. So now I see myself heading in the next 3 to 5 years is I want to be working with very high-end entrepreneurs. I want to be putting together very high-end networking events that are going to pull the people who don't have a space to go to. I'm learning from a lot of successful people that they don't have that networking platform, that community to go to, because a lot of the networking groups out there really are networking groups for people who are starting out and don't know where to go. I want to offer something bigger and better and higher with more value and bring in really, really high-end people that they can network with so that they feel they're on the same level with that type of person and not dealing with the people who are just starting off, because everybody has a level of where they're working at, but they should be working at a level they want to achieve too. And I want to be working, still helping the people that are coming along the way where I was, but I really want to take my business to that level where I'm working with very, very high-end level entrepreneurs. If somebody was looking at Faye Chapel's Mastermind, I would probably say to them, step outside your fear, or actually I would say step into your fear and right through it. Don't say no. Don't give yourself the excuses to stay where you are. If you're looking to move your business and yourself to higher levels that you ever thought you could achieve, join the mastermind. It will completely change the way you do business. It will completely change the way you view yourself. It will completely change the way people view you as a business person. The opportunities that will start coming your way will actually blow your mind, because people will start reaching out to you and you never probably thought that they would. Don't hold yourself back. Don't say no. Don't stay stuck in that fear of, I'm not really that business person, I don't think I can do it, because trust me, you can. If you really, really want to make your life different and different place for your family, if you want to take yourself to different levels, if you want to move yourself forward, you don't have a choice but to say yes.